Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a beautiful young princess whose name was Isla. She lived with her father, the kindly but very old king. One night after dinner, the king had some very distressing news to tell Isla.
Isla, it's time you get married. But Dad, every prince I meet are too mean to marry.
The king wanted her to marry a nice prince, but he was getting very old and he did want to make sure that she was taken care of, and so he told her that she must choose a prince soon. And with that, he went off to bed. Princess Isla was left downstairs alone with her thoughts. Soon it began to storm. Princess Isla loved thunderstorms and was always comforted by them, but she remembered suddenly that she had left her cat outside and decided to go and check and see if it was waiting outside the door. As soon as she opened the door, she was met with a surprise.
Ah, you scared me. What are you doing out here in a thunderstorm? My horse ran away, and this is the first house I could find.
The princess asked if he would like to come inside and get warm and perhaps even spend the night, and he very happily agreed. Princess Isla showed him to the nicest room in the whole house, the chestnut suite, and she asked him if he thought he would be comfortable there.
Is this good enough? Yeah, it's better than good enough, actually.
And with that, she left him alone, or so he thought. Earlier, as he was changing out of his clothes, she had snuck into his room and put in a fat but friendly bumblebee. Prince Peter didn't much care for bees, but he was a prince who respected all living things, and so he decided instead of killing the bee, he would open the window and let the bee out. And with that, he lay down in the very comfortable dry bed and went sound asleep. The next morning, Princess Isla came in to check to see how he had slept that night and to check on the bee.
How did you sleep? After I let a bee out the window, I slept great.
She was surprised and delighted to hear that he had not killed the bee, but had set it free, and she decided in that moment that he was the exact type of prince that she wanted to marry, and so she asked him.
Would you like to get married? Sure, why not?
That very afternoon, the Prince, Peter, and Princess Isla were married in the castle's own rose garden, surrounded by their family and friends. We are not doing that over. Surrounded by their family and their friends, and even the sweet, fat little bee. And they lived happily ever after.